It's another Monday and another JoeLumb album review. When you're done watching today's video, feel free to check out previous album review videos, as the playlist is up on the right hand corner of your screen at the start of each video, and at the end of the video you can watch my previous album review video. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell, and when you see a new video you can just check it out yourself. Today's album review is the untitled fourth studio record from Led Zeppelin, commonly known as Led Zeppelin 4. The informal recording environment inspired the group, allowing them to try different arrangements of material and create/compose songs in different styles. After the lukewarm reception of Led Zeppelin 3 got from critics, they decided that this record would not have a title and represented by 4 symbols, each picked by band members themselves, without featuring a name or any details of the cover. Following Led Zeppelin 3, which was released in October of 1970, the group decided not to do any live performances and started work on a follow-up. They returned to Bron Air, a country house in Snowdonia, Wales, to write them new material. Recording sessions started at Island Records' new studios on Basing Street in London in December of 1970, with the recording of Black Dog. The group had considered Mick Jagger's home Stargroves as a recording location, but decided it was too expensive. They subsequently moved the following month to Headley Grange, a country house in Hampshire, England, using the Rolling Stones' mobile studios and the engineer Andy Johns, with the Stones' Ian Stewart assisting. Johns had just worked on engineering with the Stones' Sticky Fingers record and recommended the mobile studio. The relaxed atmospheric environment at Headley Grange also provided other advantages for Jimmy, Robert, John, and John Paul, as they were able to capture spontaneous performances immediately, with some tracks arising from the communal jamming. Once the basic tracks had been recorded, the band added overdubs at Island Studios in February. The band spent 5 days at Island before Jimmy Page then took the multi-track tapes to Sunset Sound in Los Angeles for mixing on February 9th of 1971, on Johns' recommendation, with a plan for an April 1971 release. There was playback at Olympic Studios, and the band hated the results. So, after touring through the spring and early summer, Page remixed the whole record in July. The record was delayed again over the choice of cover and whether it should be a double album, with a possible suggestion it could be issued as a set of EPs. That stands for extended plays. In place of a title, Jimmy Page decided each member could choose a performal emblem of the cover. Jimmy's symbol, which he designed on his own, is referred to as Zoso. He never publicly disclosed any reason behind it. It has been argued that his symbol first appeared as early as 1557 to represent Saturn. Robert's symbol was a feather within a circle, which was his own design, being based on the sign of the supposed Mu civilization. That's MU, for those who don't know what Mu means. John Paul Jones' symbol, which he chose from Rudolf Koch's Book of Signs, is a single circle intersection with a triquetra, a 3-cornered triangular figure also known as Vesica Pisces. It's intended to symbolize a person who possesses both confidence and competence. John Bonham's symbol were 3 Borromene rings that he picked from the same Book of Rings, and it represented the triad of father, mother, and child. The picture on the front of the album of an old man carrying a bundle of sticks on his back was bought in an antique shop in Reading, Berkshire by Robert Plant. The picture was affixed to the internal papered wall of a partly demolished suburban house for the cover photograph to be taken. Research in 2023 suggests that the image, which had previously been described as an oil painting, is a black and white photograph dating back to 1892, which had been hand-colored. The original photograph was taken by Ernest Howard Farmer, born 1856, died 1944. the first head of the School of Photography at Regent Street Polytechnic. The research also suggests that he's stoop-figured, is Lot Long or Lot Longyear, born 1823, died 1893, a thatcher from Mere, Wiltshire. Let's go ahead and take a look at the track listing. All the tracks are written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, except where noted. They co-wrote Black Dog with John Paul Jones, clocking in at 4:55. Rock and Roll, which they co-wrote with John Paul Jones and John Bonham, clocks in at 3:40. The Battle of Evermore, featuring Sandy Denny, clocks in at 5:51. Their iconic epic song Stairway to Heaven clocks in at 8:02. Misty Mountain Hop, co-written with John Paul Jones, clocks in at 4:38. Four Sticks clocks in at 4:45. Going to California clocks in at 3:32. And When the Levee Breaks, coming from a blues song recorded by Memphis Minnie and Kansas Joe McCoy back in 1929, written by Led Zeppelin and inspired by Memphis Minnie, which got credit for it, clocking in at 7:08. The untitled fourth Led Zeppelin record was released on November 8, 1971. It was promoted via a series of teaser advertisements showing the individual symbols on the album's artwork. It entered the UK charts at number 10, rising to number 1 the following week, and spent a total of 90 weeks on the album chart. In the US, it was Led Zeppelin's best-selling effort, but it didn't top the Billboard charts, where it peaked at number 2. The record received overwhelming praise from critics, as it was a critical and commercial success, and it still remains Led Zeppelin's best-selling album, having shipped over 37 million globally. It's one of the best-selling albums in the US and of all time, while critics regularly place it high on lists of their greatest albums of all time. As of 2021, Led Zeppelin 4 remains in the top 5 of the highest certified albums in the US, with 24 platinum records to its name. The album's overall rating is a 90 out of 100. Stairway to Heaven remains the band's greatest epic song, despite the controversy around it. Black Dog and Rock and Roll are great rockers. In 2016, this record was named by Classic Rock magazine as the band's greatest album of all Led Zeppelin albums. It was also inducted into the Grammy Awards Hall of Fame in 1999, and it was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's definitive 200 albums of all times list in 2007.